Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. You can call it this morning on ITV. You'll be right on point. Well, it's all about money politics and the 2023 general election. People are saying, look, it is going to be bullion van versus bullion van. It is going to be dollars matching dollars. It is going to be naira matching naira. It could even be euro, pounds matching each other out, because the heavyweights we have this time around is like no restriction, no holds bound, despite the fact that we have a regulator, so to speak, that's regulating the funds being spent in elections. But people like saying that they just can't feel the impact of these regulators. Money politics in 2023 election. That is what we're here to discuss. It's really close to me. He is a legal practitioner, a human rights activist, political affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Barrister Emmanuel Obakpolo. Barrister, welcome to TMI. Appreciate your coming.
Good morning, Nigerians. Yeah. Good morning, Wilson.
All right. And very close to him, he is a vibrant political analyst, a vibrant youth. He has the people in his mind, topmost mind, innermost mind, and he's really wanting to serve the people at various capacities. He has done it before as the executive director of Edo State Internal Revenue Services. Yes, his tenure ended in 2021, the month of August, having served for 4 years, and of course his record speaks volume. Join me to welcome Emmanuel Okundua. Welcome to TMI. I appreciate the comment, sir.
Good morning, Lucy.
All right.
Good morning, Nigerians.
All right. Barrister Patrick Isiekwene, a distinguished legal practitioner, Notary Public of Nigeria, and the state chairman, Nigeria Society of International Law, Edo State Chapter, human rights activist. Barrister Patrick, welcome to TMI. I appreciate your coming.
Good morning.
All right. Okay. Well, since it has to do with money, I really want to start from the guy that's occupied that position as executive director, former executive director at Edo State Internal Revenue, working with his team. People have these various notion of what money will do in the election. Mr. Mano, what is money politics? For the layman to really understand this.
All right.
Yeah.
I think first and foremost, it is imperative for us to establish the fact that money politics is a global phenomenon. So, which implies that it is not peculiar to Nigeria alone, but all over the world. But its abuses in the Nigeria electoral system is of seismic proportion. So I will look at money politics from three-party relationship model. The first one is the political parties. The second is the aspirants or the candidate. And the third one is the electorate, the people. The political party sell nomination form and expression of interest form to aspirants, to candidates. Okay, maybe it may be 100 million or 40 million as the case may be. All right? Now, the candidate, the aspirants, on their own, secure loan from the bank, okay, to buy this nomination form, an expression form, all right? And the intent is to buy vote at the end of the day with a bid to recouping such money borrowed. Then the electorate, that is the people, they sell their votes, but they are expected to what? To vote their conscience. But at the end of the day, they sell their vote. So this party relationship, the political parties, the aspirants, the candidate, the electorate, sums up what money politics is all about. But prominent among the money politics is the vote buying, which is the incentive or the gift to voters in exchange of their vote. But there is a model, true operational model within the money politics value chain, which is the prepaid operational model and the postpaid operational model. So the prepaid operational model is that before the election, you give me the money, all right? You give me the money.
Yeah.
There is trust that when you give me the money, as an electorate, I'm going there to vote for you. When the postpaid is that after you must have voted for me, so I'll give you the money. So that one, there is depleted bank of trust between the vote buyer and the vote seller. So that's why that one is very demeaning. And at the end of the day, the seller will meet the vote buyer that I have done my own part of the bargain. Please give me my money.
All right. So it's all about the post and, of course, the pre. When we talk about money politics, we talk about also the politicians, the candidates, and the electorate. Barrister Emmanuel Obakolo, in your own analysis, 23 is around the corner. Do you sense money buying?
Quickly, my friend and the namesake here just gave us a tripod point of view with regards to money in politics. I disagree absolutely with that, on the ground that, or to the extent that the people have been pushed and hypnotized by by the politicians, in the sense that the politicians have weaponized poverty. Because they have weaponized poverty, they now visit the people with a stipend to get their votes. And a man who goes to borrow money to go into politics, and eventually the man wins, what do you expect that man? The man will recoup his money very fast with the speed of light. Then what happens to the people? Now that is an aside. Looking at money in politics today in Nigeria, we've heard at the emergence of this administration, they told us they were going to fight corruption. But from the delegates or the indirect style of primaries, we saw what happened, wherein the politicians still came with, now not naira, the same persons who have devalued the naira, they came up with foreign currencies, hard currencies, dollar, pounds, you name it, euro, you name it, and they started manifesting. We didn't see any of the agencies who went there. How many persons did they arrest? Though we saw EFCC pretentiously went there, who did they arrest? Who have they prosecuted? We've not heard of any. They've weaponized poverty, and they are now using it to deal with the people and not to lead the people. Unfortunately, our leaders of today are dealers and not leaders. They don't lead the people. They deal with the people the way they like. And that is why you see the money politics game, the indirect system of election. Now, we now have, some call it 3-horse race. Some call it 4-horse race. The fourth one is in a distance. We saw the ANAP opinion poll that has just been released. We have the Dubai cartel. We have the Lion of Bodilon, who will now display so much money. And we have the other one, whom some people call the third force, who are saying, we don't have the money. The people are saying, we don't need your money, we are going to help you to do the game. So you see, money has come, money will speak volume in the 2023 election, because the foundation was laid and is still being laid by the two major political parties in Nigeria, the PDP and the APC.
But they may disagree to that.
Yes, they may. But we saw them display that in the primaries. In their convention, they displayed it.
All right. As a notary public, Barrister Patrick Isekwene, you're the only P here. You have the EEP in that political party. So take it up from there. He talked about weaponizing poverty.
That's why it's not his 10 news. It's been on and on, even to this moment. Yeah. So what I was say is that money politics, as how I'm concerned now, is that it's a global phenomenon. We call it traditional, local, got involved. You are aware about what transpired during the course of the primaries. You are aware that dollars was used in that primary to concretize delegates to vote for them. You know? So like what I like when my colleague here, a man here on my right, when he raised the issue that they have to borrow money up to about 100 to buy that form. But I disagree with him totally, 100%. You see, that money was never borrowed. They are petty bourgeois. They are not petty bourgeois. They are very wealthy people. They are very wealthy people.
But some went out there to borrow.
No. I said no.
Okay.
No. Even for their statement, you also are aware that they said it was bought by market women, some fish sellers, yam sellers, tomato sellers. Any of them never agreed that they bought platform by themselves. I don't know any of them have said so. None of them. They said it was bought by supporter, market women, fish sellers,
farmers,
yam sellers. That's who bought the form for them. But I know the other sellers.
I think.
No, hold on. He has the floor. You react later.
They're not Nigerians.
Yes.
These people, they are bourgeois. They can buy 100 of those for them to buy it. For me to say that one will be borrowed money, I think we're never playing what I call abysmal ignorance. It is not possible to prepare to face reality. So what I'm trying to say is that money politics, due to our particular nature of our own politics, I know it has a big role. Nobody can shy away from it. Whether the APC, PDP, whatever you call it, they're all involved. But the ability for the INEC, the monitoring and the FCC, to monitor these people to make sure it's not abuse, I don't think they have a political will. From what played out during the last primaries, this money was used. I think after that primary was in Abuja, I was told that dollar is not scarce in Abuja because the politicians they bought all the dollars, they sought for dollars and the process. So they use it. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not new. But right from the 3 stages where this money they used. Now 4 stages when a candidate of a political party is trying to persuade people to support him. That's before the primaries. Then when you get to primary again, you still have to settle delegates.
Settle delegates?
Yes, so delegates. That's where they are what they get from what they gave. This I don't know. Even some them want to $50,000. You know that there's some special delegates. They're not just delegates. It is normal delegate where they get $20,000 to $5,000. But normally there are some special delegates. Those are the $50,000, $25,000. Yes, to tell you how powerful these people are and the role of money politics now. Politics. So what I'm trying to say is that the next third one now is for the election, which we expect to see on that election day, and they are ready. They are ready.
They are ready.
Yes. So it is the ability. I'm not telling you nothing but the truth. It is the ability of INEC and the EFCC to monitor this. They have to have the political will. It is what I cannot say.
All right.
Because if you see it playing on and on, nothing is done.
All right.
So money politics is a very serious problem in Nigerian politics. That's why you now see that for you to say you want to contest for anything, presidential, governor, you must know what it means. You know what you have it all around you.
All right. Emmanuel, I want to react to some of the points. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, when I started, I used a 3-party relationship model to buttress my point. Okay, I talked about the fact that in that ecosystem of money politics, you have the political parties, you have the aspirants and the candidates, and you have the electorate. So each role, each model explained was what I just brought to the fore. That does not necessarily mean that money was borrowed. Where they get the money from to buy the form is none of our business as far as this issue is concerned. But what is important is that there are rules. The political parties have their role to sell the nomination form and the expression of interest form. The aspirant have his or her own role to seek for money, where the source of the money is not the issue. But just to let you know that money politics in Nigeria is undermining or compromising the legitimacy, the credibility and integrity of our electoral process. I quite agree with the two speakers on that.
Yeah.
And it's a menace to our democratic institution. It's a threat and a danger to democracy.
But now what about the aspect you talked about weaponizing hunger?
Yes. I think
Yes.
For that, you know, I would say that one of the socio-economic trigger for money politics or vote buying is poverty. Poverty has moral underpinnings. Poverty has a way of eroding the moral values of people. When they have that desperation, okay, and that desperation gives them an incentive to become immoral. It is being said that a hungry man is an angry man. So someone who is poor, who doesn't have anything to make a living, can do anything for money. So what we should be talking about here is how do we remedy the situation? First, for me, I think there should be strict enforcement of laws.
All right, before we talk about a remedy, let's dive some more into some of this problem. Now, for what he said sometimes the source of money we may not know. Well, like what Barrister said, he said these guys, they are rich on their own. We get to see them saying towards the market women, the fish sellers, the yam sellers, when they came together to give them money. That is just hocus pocus. It's not true. But right now, we have an election fast approaching. And the political party, a politician said, look, Nigerians, eat their money, take their money, collect this money, but vote your conscience. How can you marry these two?
I don't belong to that class that say take the money, eat the money, and vote your conscience. For me, I tell people, don't take the money. By the grace of God, some of us will go and vote. I will vote. I will not take money from anybody because I don't want to be morally down. Because when you talk of collection of money and you now talk of conscience, which conscience? The fact that one collects money and you are not saying that you have conscience, for me, you do not have any conscience. It is morally wrong. And that is why I think Nigerians, thank God for the youths, they've woken up. The youths are not saying, no, we want to be part of these elections. We want to be part of the Nigerian political space. We want to be part of every decision making in Nigeria. We want to be part of the today, tomorrow, and the future of Nigeria. Thank God for that. And I think that is the proper thing for the youth to do. So if a man comes with his bag of money or a bullion van of money and say, oh, look at this bullion van, you can take this bullion van and vote for me, they should tell him no. Somewhere in Ghana, a politician took hillocks of rice, bags of rice, to go and share. The people rejected the rice and said, no, we will vote. We don't need bags of rice. We need welfare and security. I think Nigerians should learn from that. If the Ghanaians could do that, Nigerians can do better. So the time of the principle of saying, oh, let us collect and vote conscience. Which conscience do you now have? When you collect a man's money and assure the man that you are going to vote for the man, and you now say, I have conscience, I will not vote for the man, but I have collected the money. To my mind, that is wrong. Let's tell them that is why these politicians will keep weaponizing poverty. Because they know the people are poor. We saw one drama in the Osun election. Somebody brought about 3-4 cups of beans and he tagged it bag of beans. And he was sharing before, during and after the elections. And people were shouting, running out, bag of beans, they are sharing bag of beans. Something that is not more than 3-4 cups of rice, of beans. So Nigerians should learn how to look at not the just now, but the future.
Not now, but the future. Barrister Patrick, you heard him. He said, taking the money and voting your conscience, it doesn't belong to such categories because of the conflict of interest, so to speak. I not eat my money and tell me you will not vote for me. You get to see the African palace, but just go and invoke their gods or something of that nature. Nobody want to go into that. But how do you feel about that? It was on national TV. Eat their money, collect the money, but vote your conscience. Do you see it working in the forthcoming election?
Well, I don't see that working. It's easy to say. It's very easy to say, but life is a problem. I speak from the perspective of being a former election observer. Okay. I observe both local and international. I was the chairman of JDPC. That is faith-based of the Catholic.
Yeah.
I was the chairman of the Catholic. I was involved serious of election observing as an election observer, and also for Swift Camp for MP in the Nigeria Station. I've been in the field severally. You see, what you see here on practical ground is different. So what I'm saying, give their money and take it away, it's not as easy as that. Because these people, they have a way of monitoring you.
Monitoring you?
Yes! You cannot eat their money and go away. No, it's easy to say, it's not possible. It is not possible. They have a way, make sure you do it, and you must prove that they observe you, and they will confirm it. It's not
they confirm it?
Yes! So, don't just take.
I think...
hold on. Just hold on. You react to it.
Yes, react to it.
Yes.
The best thing, don't just take. I know it's not going to be easy, because I must say that Nigeria have been wallowing in our object of poverty. I mean, I've been swimming in the ocean of poverty for quite a long time. The economy is not easy. This is the economic crunch. So, and like government had a way of triangulating these people economically. And it's no issue of poverty. You have the poverty of mind, educationally, and at the same time, economic poverty. Then you'll be tempted because you need the money to survive. It's not going to be easy. Because most people out there, you are aware that out of every 10 people, those who are going to do, they're not more than 1 or 2. About 8 are very poor people. So it's not easy. If you listen, myself and the 2 in my account are saying, I cannot speak for the other persons who need the money badly. So it's a self-miracle. It's not going to be easy. But say you just go there, collect money and vote for, it's not possible. Please, don't collect.
Don't collect.
Yes.
Honorable Bana, over to you.
I belong to that same school of thought. Like,
Don't collect.
Don't collect.
Even with the hunger biting so hard.
See, you know,
Some are saying this is our collective patrimony. It's our money. We eat the money, but put our conscience.
that's a flawed narrative. Okay, that's why it is the responsibility of all the stakeholders, media, political parties, traditional rulers, and everyone, to begin to build advocacy, all right, for the right thing to be done. Okay, now I made mention of the postpaid, like, because if you are given money, if you want to vote, and they really know that yes, you need the money, they want to confirm like, oh, this guy has paid, has voted for us. That is a postpaid model. So I know, yes, it is pretty difficult. It's not easy, but by the grace of God, we'll get there. It's just a gradual process.
A gradual process.
And let's begin to build advocacy for the change we need. For now, I will rest my case.
All right. Now, some are saying we do not collect money, but if they bring salt, we'll collect. If they bring bag of rice, we'll collect. If they bring ashrabi for us, we will definitely collect. I mean, is this not monetizing it in material forms, Barrister Emmanuel?
You see, the government and the various political parties are the architect of all of these problems. We have an agency called the National Orientation Agency. Where are they? But somebody is there occupying the position of a director general. Give him fleet of cars, give him all the welfare, give him all the allocations, give him everything the man deserves, that the office spells out, or the law that creates the office spells out for. But where is their function? At this time, we ought to be hearing the National Orientation Agency enlightening Nigerians. But where are they? Because many of them are card-carrying members of the various political parties. So they are not interested in doing their function. Even by the appointment, you know that this man belongs to party A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And that is what we see today. So Nigerians, yes, I must agree with you. Nigerians are in pains. Economically and otherwise. Nigerians are in pains. And that's why you see people will tell you. I remember sometime, the last election 2019, I was an observer. And one of the local government I got there, I saw an old woman carry phone call and so. They just gave me 5,000 naira. Come vote, come collect 5,000 naira. I went and said, Iye, what are you saying? So people can go to the extent of collecting Maggi cube of Maggi. Because, like I did say from the outset, poverty has been what? Weaponized. So the people now feel, if it is this one. But the germane question is this. when I collect 5,000 naira today, how much is the value of 5,000 naira now? 5,000 naira cannot give you a pot of soup as it stands just now. Good meal. It cannot. But yet you see people go after it because the government, in conspiracy with the political parties, have made it to be so. And the people can collect anything. Even if they say root, mango root, people will still go and collect it.
For real?
Yes, people will go and collect it. Because the government has a way, and the political parties, they have a way of saying that this mango root can cure you from COVID-19. Government that can hide COVID-19 palliative, even to as far as last week, they still discover some palliative hidden in one state. You can imagine that. Indomie that expires, somebody is hiding it. And before you know, they will use it for 2023 election. They will start sharing it. They will say this is what so XYZ political party, XYZ candidate is giving to the people. Meanwhile, the international community, in their wisdom, gave it free as a palliative to the people because of the lockdown. But the government of the day, the governors in conspiracy, they started hiding it. And see where we are today. And they are happy that yes, the people have been abject poverty, so we can now ride on them for eternity. But thank God, there's something that God uses to checkmate man, and that is death.
All right. Well, Mr. Madam, hold on. It's not going to your court yet. You have to please hold on. Now, Barrister Patrick, well, you heard his opinion, his own views. It's like all of you in this contest, you share the same opinions and, of course, views about collecting and voting for your conscience. You mentioned some names. So you were not specific, though. One lion of this of Paris, and the rest of that. You mean that money is going to be money fight this time around? Is that what you're saying? Despite what you've been preaching?
Not money fight this time around. It's a more or less a convention. It's already been there, and they know what to do.
They know what to do.
They know what to do. That is why they don't keep listening here to masses cry. The cost of living, cost of things. Even take example of ASU strike. For how many months now? Government has a duty to avert it, not to strike it anymore. That was I haven't said at the earlier stage. There are some that there. Right at the end of the day, I think I learned that Buhari just had a meeting with the chancellors.
Pro-chancellors.
With pro-chancellors of the First University. For what? Is it now you'll be doing that? So what I'm trying to say that if this government were to contest, if the president were to contest this election, they will still win. With all this bad...
you are not in the minds of the people.
No, I'm not in the minds
you are not INEC.
And don't give me an instance.
Yes.
That upon all this election, how many months from now, as to where you have the population of students, they've been at home. And this some of these students will involve in one or two crime or the other. Temptation, and I don't mind, is devils for sure. When you come to international terrorism, you will see that most undergraduates, they are happy for such a movement. Because they'll be recruited to fight international terrorism. They recruit them to go and fight in everywhere, different countries. They use them. If someone they learn that person lose or lost our own life, what will be you see what is strike has caused such a student. So it's not a joking matter. So sometimes I say with all these things going on, the government is not listening. A lot of people are negotiate with them, talk with them, let them call off the strike. People are at home. Where even the cost of people schooling, I cannot continue saying this. I've heard it severally. For example, the money they pay at Sani University, State University, it's outrageous. Then how much is the parents' salary where they work? I don't understand. Then you expect you expect them not to look for a way out.
All right.
That's the truth of the matter.
All right. Over to you now.
Yeah. I think Barrister Bakolo talked about weaponization of poverty. It's very, very correct. Yes, I agree with him totally on that. But I think we should understand that there is a new political consciousness that is triggered by an organic political philosophy by the youth population. Yeah. And they are ready to disrupt the political landscape. That is a statement of fact. So, yes, the category of persons that may not be maybe they'll be tempted to taking the money. Might be some of these our mothers, elderly people, but the youth, that consciousness is there. They are ready this time around to change to change the status quo. So they want a better Nigeria, a better society. They want to drive competence, capacity, efficiency, transparency, and of course, promote the social accountability project. And that is why the media, the civil society organization group, they have critical role to play in promoting the social accountability project. That I talked about mandatory accountability, all right? And two key components of the social accountability project: one, information, and two, the people, all right? The people, they should be available to say, we don't want this. You said you were going to do X, Y, Z, okay? What have you done? So they look at the performance gap. That is the difference between what the electorate expect from an elected person, a politician, and what the politician actually do in actual essence. I think things are going to change.
Things are going to change.
Yes, things are going
Even
to
with
change.
the biting hunger and poverty, things are going to change.
You see, the journey of 1,000 kilometers begins with a step. Here. So, I'm an incurable optimist for a better Nigeria. I have hope, for hope is a glimmering slipper's light, which stares and adorns the way. For still as darker goes the night, you will surely miss a brighter ray. And I see a brighter ray coming upon Nigeria.
Wow, I like that prayer of yours. Well, do you believe in that prayer?
I do. I do. Just now with the wind of change that has visited the youth, we see things will get better. The degree of money collection we used to have will be reduced drastically. I agree to that fact. Somebody said, and we also need you, the media, to assist us, Nigerians, in it. Somebody said, he who controls the media controls everything. So if the media can help us, the judiciary can help us, we, the lawyers, the accountants, the doctors, and the professionals, if they can put their foot on the ground and say we want things to change in Nigeria, it will. The problem we have in Nigeria is attitudinal. And the day we choose to change our attitude, it will be better for every one of us. So I use this forum, this platform, to appeal to Nigerians that we should change our attitude for the better. Because these men are, they are not superhuman. These politicians, they are not. Though at times they do as if they can turn man to woman or woman to man. That is not just possible. They are not the creator. We can determine it. We can make the change in Nigeria. And that is what I'm advocating for. We should make change this time around. Because we have suffered a lot. Even the children of Israel, they told themselves that, look, we want change. We want to do something new to ourselves. We have been in Egypt for long. We want to leave this Egypt. Then God provided the Moses. By the time we tell ourselves as Nigerians that we want to leave this Egypt that we are, God will give us a Moses and we shall get out of it.
Wow, interesting. On the papers you get to see, we know they give chichi, we know they give anything, but someone accused that same political party of sharing food items. So if you don't give chichi, you can give rice. You can give me.
I think, yes, that is kind, if not cash. Yeah, the same. What I'm going to say here. Frankly speaking,
yeah.
Over the hope of Nigeria, both speakers said they believe
yes,
change.
yes.
Myself, I must be honest to you. I must give simple truths.
Yes.
To an extent, I don't totally believe that. I know.
You don't totally believe it.
I won't pretend here. No. I won't pretend here. I don't see anything happening. When I saw that, see, when I see that saying, "Oh, we change and try to break it," it's like remember the biblical. When they're trying to persecute Jesus, castigate him. Oh, you can't save us. I can't even save yourself. You can do this. Jesus knows too well that he can do and undo. But just because he's there to fulfill the mission, he said, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they do."
You don't do it.
When I was making such a statement, that's how I look at them. I think just from my head. Let me tell you, don't expect any miracle. You see, for this status quo, any election, we don't expect any miracle. The only thing I'll make my mind not to use that I have no faith in all these people. The only thing you can see, the only thing that can change the status quo in Nigeria that can bring food to the table and make us smile again is to restructure this country.
Restructuring.
Of course, much more than that. Yes, I believe in that, 100%. Not this way. It's a status quo, we get all out of it. Because the journey started yesterday. Long time. 1949 amalgamation, two strangers. There's no unity, we're not one Nigeria. No love. It's who will take it first. That's the divide and the. You see, but where these talks are good, where you can walk, like we are saying it, in a, like America, they are one. They love themselves. Here in this country, mistrust, no trust. So what I'm trying to say is that what we do, I'm thinking like that. We want to structure. Let's become the kind of that's what we need. I expect the youth to rise and talk about that. Yes, they will get results. Now, structure. Let the East be a kind of confederation. Let the North be. Give them their region. Give the West their region. Give the South side their region. And brother, it's kind of like confederation that is autonomous. Let them control their resources. We cannot change the name to United States of Nigeria. We are one. Do you know what I mean? You will see the economy, they will not look at the wastage. You will see the East that becoming like Dubai. My friend is here, Emmanuel is in the bank, I know what I'm talking about. You will see some region paying double salary. There will be competition like the way you what they pay their staff. You know, the same thing.
Okay, as in Texas, also in the US.
Yes, because I never subscribe for issue of say we must disintegrate. No. Don't ever expect that it's not possible in Nigeria to fight Nigeria. It's not possible because of the economic interests at all. For example, let me give you an instance. Bayelsa State, for instance, who also major oil producing states, has just 8 local governments. Let me give you an analysis. 8 local governments. 8. If they share 10 to local governments, say 10 million for each of the local government. Bayelsa will get 80 million. 80 million. But someone like a state like a Kano, about 44 local government, we get 440 million, practically. I know you know what I'm talking about. This people who produce your oil, 80 will get only 80. Someone who don't produce your oil will get 440 million. That person wants you to go. You won't go anywhere. They will not, we can never allow us to go. So that's why we can structure. That's the only way I think we have the power to
Thank you. Thank you.
That's the only way we can change the narrative.
All right, Mr. Manuel.
They will change wonder. The Nigeria problem project is getting all of them, all the candidates.
All right, now the way forward now, Mr. Manuel.
Okay, I want to react.
Yeah, go on, you can react to it, yes.
I quite sympathize with Barrister here. I understand why he's totally pessimistic about whether Nigeria is going to change or not. Like I told you, I said, I'm an incredible optimist that Nigeria will be better. Now, when I look at two runs, the short run and the long run. So in the short run, yeah, it may look as if there's no hope, okay? But in the long run, things are going to get better. Now, when you look at America, the life of Barack Obama. Yeah. So whoever thought that black going to
but that's what they said because they love themselves. But this place is mistrust. Everyone wants to grab onto power. Yes.
Now again, I take your mind back to 2020 NSAS. Okay. Do you ever think that something of that nature was going to take place that very time? So it is. Let's not lose hope. Okay. NSAS was the totality of our Nigerianness. Everybody came together. The youth started it, okay? And at the end of the day, at least, though the process was hijacked at the end, but that was a message sent. Okay? So let us not lose hope. I'm saying things are going to get better.
Okay.
Let us not lose hope.
Thank you. Let's trust God. But are you a pessimist or an optimist? I'm on because he just spoke now. He said, look,
things will change.
Or to restructure, that's what will happen.
Listen, things will change.
Yes.
NSAS was a springboard to what is going on just now. The wind of revolution we are seeing today amongst the youth was given birth to by NSAS. We never thought that the youth will one day wake up and say, this is what we want today to be better, tomorrow to be better, and the future. But today we see the youth coming out to say, no, we want something new. We don't want to borrow the change
mantra
of APC. No, we need something new. And you see amongst the youth today, you see all what you are seeing going around happening. Nobody is giving them any money. They are not taking money from any person. But they say we want this something new. So I do think and believe, I'm hopeful that things will change. Though it may not be sporadic, it may not be magical, but gradually things will change.
All right. So finally now, whether they bring clothes for you or money for you, should they collect, barrister?
No, please don't collect if you love Nigeria.
If you don't collect,
If you love Nigeria.
Honorable Man, no? Don't collect. Barrister
It's forbidden.
Mano, forbidden.
Vote for your, vote
Well.
use your conscience.
You've heard them. They say money, clothes, salts, rice can corrupt the mind, can really influence your voting ability. So you should say no to those gift items. But just imagine what Barrister Mano said. He said an old lady was like, that they give 5,000. Muna convert, so collect 5,000. I talk about weaponizing poverty, hunger. How do you think Nigerians will have the guts, the courage, the stamina to say no? How would they have the courage when they see AB collecting, smiling, saying, look, the food for tonight is assured? They'll be looking at AB. Do you think they'll have the guts to say no? We need prayers in this country. We need prayers in this country. But when you say no, stick to the no. Get hungry for that particular moment to get a brighter future. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on today's show. This segment is wow. And I believe that many millions are watching, believe you me. Even the government officials, they are there watching because I do get feedback after every Sunday's edition. You spoke your mind, and I hope that Nigerians will listen. Let's see if this message will just bear deep root in your heart. Say no to money politics. Say no. Bear the hunger. Even if A is jiving or enjoying, forget it. Go out there to vote. It's still about 23 election. This time around, it's all about the "are you" factor. Yes, the PDP making rounds in the news. Apart from the other party that sacked their presidential candidates. We don't want to talk about that now for anti-party activities, but that is by the way. But for now, the "are you" factor is what we're going to start off with. And I have the same set of guests with me in the studio. And some other guests, they're on their way. When they get to the studio, get to hear their own opinions and, of course, view on this particular discourse. Infighting in the PDP. Some are saying, "are you" must go. Others are saying, "no, "are you" must stay. The governor said, if "are you" should leave, I'm leaving that party. Barrister Patrick, let's start off with you.
Yeah, if PDP as a political party
Yes.
don't manage this crisis,
Yes.
I see them losing 2023 election. It might, no, I'm not losing. It doesn't affect it.
It's going to affect
It
it.
affects the election seriously. Seriously. And the way they are going, they're not ready, they're not prepared. They're not prepared. You see, because it's crystal clear by the position of Wiki, which also align with him in that position. Because with other people like Body George, this is also party steward within the PDP. It is clear that the North cannot produce the president. Also produce the national chairman of the party. It's not possible. It's not possible. Because you are aware that some people are not the way and manner how you organize the last primary. Probably because you not favor the man from the North. Notice that avoid this thing is a national political party. It's not regional. So by that convention, since the Atiku emerged as the president from the North, automatically the most honorable thing to be done, even without being told to you, is to resign immediately. Resign immediately. To start with, he was never voted. They know how they brought him for that time in Lodge, Europe, let him be there for now, temporary. You understand? For the personality to make, if he has interest of the party. Because I foresee, they now look at him as what happened during the sheriff. Remember that time? Yeah. Sheriff and
Go ahead, yes. I'm not the sheriff.
Sheriff and what happened?
Yes.
You know, become devil of the party. That is what I use for himself. Because you are aware that you cannot say by constitution, it's not a constitutional issue. But for the sake of the party, to call the election, you have to have resigned. They don't need to tell you that, not tell you, I won't resign, I won't do that. You are aware, even in the West, they are arrowhead that this man must go.
Okay.
So man must go. So people can also come in. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not a joking matter. It's a serious matter. The West are ready to. If he don't resign and go away, he's going to do about it, try to play politics with it. I'm sorry, you are going to have naturally. I've seen it coming on the way. It's already here. You're going to have Northern People's Democratic Party and the Southern People's Democratic Party.
All right.
Which will be divided? You're going to be divided.
Divided.
And a house being divided against itself.
Will not stand.
That's why I said PDP signing Pekara Pedesta for 2023 if this matter is not resolved.
Over to you now, Honorable Manuel.
All right, I will look at it this way. The hue and cry over a youth resignation, in my own opinion, is like a storm in a teacup.
A storm in a teacup.
Yes. And you ask me why. So the call for his resignation is important on the scale of moral ethics and on the tripod of fairness, equity, and justice, but not important and urgent on the scale of the constitution of the People's Democratic Party. Okay? So, this issue is an issue that has placed stakeholders within the PDP value chain in an ethical dilemma situation, arising from the fact that there is a moral body, moral responsibility. They are looking at the moral burden and moral responsibility for IU to resign. And on the other hand, they are looking at the Constitution. Okay? What does the Constitution say with respect to issues of this nature? All right? Now, ordinarily, yes, by the Constitution, that once there's an election where you have the chairman from the north and in event that is leaving, ordinarily the other zone
will produce,
which is fine. But now, what is the Constitution saying? The rules and regulations and the procedures. So if I resign, it automatically means that yes, they are going to conduct another election. And the question is, are they ready for such at this point? For me, I think it is ill-timed. It is ill-timed. Like I said, yes, on the scale of moral ethics, fairness, equity, and justice. Yes, they have a point. But on the scale of the constitution of the PDP, I think they need to think about that. There's a little lacuna. If you look at section 47, subsection 1 and 2, that talks about the tenure of the national officers.
Yes.
Okay, so I think...
All right, they should stick to the Constitution.
Exactly.
Barrister Mano, do you have a divergent view?
Well, the PDP told us they came with the phrase rescue Nigeria, but now they cannot rescue the PDP. It's a shame that the presidential candidate who claimed to be a unifier in his acceptance speech upon his emergence as the presidential candidate of the party cannot even unify an integral part which is members of his party. So I wonder, it will be mere utopia for us to see him as a unifier. I, for one, I doubt that. And for the principle of fairness, justice, equity, and morality, IU must resign. That's my opinion.
Wow. We're going to continue with this discussion in moments after this. You heard them, must resign. Some are saying the time is ill-timed. Some are saying, what about the Constitution? Those are saying, if this infighting persists, that may affect Atiko's chance of becoming the president of this country. After all, he's of the PDP. You have a Bode George on one end, Makinde on the other end. And not we have other governors also saying, remain where you are. You get to hear about Tamboa saying, we're backing you up, remain where you are. You get to hear other people saying, yes, remain where you are. We have to look for other means of resolving this. What do you think about it? Other analysts will be here on the ground to share their views and opinion. Gentlemen, thank you. I know you have so much to say about this, but we have to call it a wrap right now because we have other guests to take care of. We'll be right back. Don't go away.